Hello everyone. Welcome to the session 3 of Theory of Computation or Formal Languages and Automata Theory. In the previous session, we discussed about the DFA. We discussed about the mathematical representation of DFA, followed by the steps required for constructing a DFA. Okay, and we discussed one example problem for construction of the DFA. So in this today's session, we are going to cover some of the problems related to the constructions of DFA, and we will see how that DFA is going to be constructed for different types of problems. Yeah. So these are the points that we discussed in the previous session related to the construction of DFA. So in order to construct a DFA for a given problem, we need to follow these steps. Totally, we are having 6 steps. So first, we need to understand the language for which the DFA is to be constructed. Next, we need to determine the total number of states required, and next we need to identify the start and final states, and then we need to specify the state transitions on every input symbol, and then we can get a state transition table and state transition diagram. And the last step is we need to test the DFA on short string. Okay, so for a given problem of a DFA, we have to apply these steps to construct the DFA. Okay, so this is the problem which we already discussed in the previous session. So just for review purpose, I have mentioned the same example here. So we discussed how to construct a DFA which accepts set of all strings containing even number of A's, right? So we applied all the 6 steps and we constructed this DFA, right? So based upon the given problem, we need to identify the number of states required, and we need to specify the transitions, right? Next. So in today's session, we will discuss about what is the language, and then when we can say that a language is accepted by a DFA. Okay. So first thing, what is a language? So language is nothing but it is a set of strings which are defined over alphabet set sigma, right? So whatever the set of strings that you can generate over the alphabet set is going to be called as a language, right? So that is the general definition of a formal language, right? Now when we could say that the language is accepted by a DFA, so uh, to represent it mathematically, we are going to use the notation. Okay, so just try to understand the notation to represent the language accepted by DFA. So first thing, as we just now discussed, that a language is nothing but set of strings. So how do we represent a language which is accepted by a DFA? So that is the question. So for that, first thing is that a language accepted by DFA, M is equal to Q comma sigma comma delta comma Q naught comma F. So here we are saying that a language which is accepted by DFA, M is equal to, we are specifying the quintuple notation. That means we are representing the DFA here with a mathematical notation, right? So M is equal to Q comma sigma comma delta comma Q naught comma F. So we have seen this quintuple notation in the previous session, right? Is the set of all strings on sigma accepted by M. So we are saying that here M is a DFA, and the language which is accepted by DFA M is consisting of set of strings which are defined over alphabet set sigma. Okay, and what it is going to be consisting of, see here, L is equal to, how do we pronounce, L is equal to set of W means word is nothing but we can say it is a string. So set of all words belongs to sigma star. That means whatever the set of words that you can generate from sigma star, those words, such that when you perform transition from Q naught on W, you can able to get the final state. Okay, so that means whenever you process the string W from Q naught, we are going to get the final state. So set of all strings, those can be processed from Q naught, and we are going to get a final state. Those set of strings is going to be called as a language. Okay, so just I'm repeating here once again: set of all words which are defined over sigma star, such that when you perform the transition from starting state on that string, we can able to get the final state. Okay, so like that, set of all those strings is called as its language. Okay, so whenever this condition satisfies, we can say that the string W is accepted by the DFA. Okay, so whenever this condition satisfies, then we can say that the string W is accepted by the DFA. Okay, so whatever the set of strings that are accepted by a DFA is called its language. Okay, next, when we can say that a language is rejected by DFA. So whenever we can find the set of all words on processing which we cannot able to get the final state, then all those set of words is called as a language which is going to be rejected by DFA. Okay, so here you could see a language is said to be rejected by DFA if W, that means set of all words W, belongs to sigma star, such that when you process W from Q naught, when you process W from Q naught, you cannot able to get the final state. So delta of Q naught comma W does not belongs to final state. So whatever the set of words on processing which from Q naught, if you cannot get a final state, then those set of words is called the language which is not accepted by DFA. Okay, so this is the case. So here we have seen the mathematical representation of language acceptance by the DFA and the mathematical representation of language rejected by the DFA, right? So let me give one example. So for example, we are having some string W. When we can say that it is accepted by DFA, so to represent that, what we need to do is that we need to apply the transition function, that is delta of so what we need to do, we have to process that string from the Q naught. So Q naught, delta of Q naught comma W. Okay, so W. On processing this, if you get a final state, something, if you get a some state Qj, let me say Qj, and that Qj belongs to F, that means it belongs to final state, then this string W is accepted. Then this string W is accepted, right? When we can say that the string W is rejected by DFA, so on processing W from Q naught, if you get a state which is non-final state, then we can say that W is rejected, right? So if you get this state some Qj that does not belongs to the final state, then you could say that the string W is rejected by the DFA, right? So this is the general representation of acceptance of language by the DFA and the rejection of uh, language by the DFA. Okay, next one. So this is also one of the most important concept, which is called as extended transition function. Okay, so extended transition function means what we are going to do here is we are going to represent the mathematical representation of the string. Okay, mathematical representation of string which is processed from Q naught. Okay, in a form of delta transition function. So consider that here I have written like this, for DFA M is equal to Q comma sigma comma delta comma Q naught comma F. The function delta is extended as, so here we are having the two properties here. The first thing is that for any state Q, of capital Q. Small q is nothing but some state that is the member of capital Q, right? As you know that capital Q is nothing but set of state. So out of those set of states, we are considering one state, like, and we are representing that state as small q, right? From out of set of states, we picked up one state. What is that? Small q. So on that particular state, if you process epsilon, then you will be in the same state. Okay, so delta of q comma epsilon, that means assume that you are in state q and the input that you got is epsilon, right? So if you process epsilon on some state q, then you will be in the same state, right? So if you are in some state and if you process nothing, then you will be in the same state only. So that is the first property. Okay. Next property is that here, B point number B, you could see here, for any state small q of capital Q, that means you have picked up some state Q out of some set of states and you are having some string X. Okay, so X belongs to sigma star. So X belongs to sigma star means you are having X is a string that is defined over sigma star, that means consisting of the symbols from the sigma and with a as the last symbol, right? So we are having the string like this, x followed by a, that means we are having x followed by a. So we could say here is we are having x which is consisting of strings belongs to sigma star and then consisting of small a at the end. Okay, small a at the end. Okay, and also a is also a symbol from the sigma. Okay, so that is the common point. As we know, when we are taking the string, all the symbols must be from the alphabet set sigma, right? So but here we are considering the x as a string consisting of some sequence of symbols from alphabet sigma, and a is some one symbol which is also present in the sigma. So we have considered the string in this fashion, x followed by a, right? So then how do we write the transition function for this? So we can write like this, delta of delta of q. So you have picked up some state. So that means you are going to process xa, that means xa from state q. Okay. So how do we write to represent that mapping? That means to represent that transition, you have to write delta of q comma xa equal to. So here if you observe this string xa means it is having the two parts, right? So x followed by a. So in order to get the transition, what you need to do is that we have to apply the transition on current state and the first part of the input. So how do you write delta of qx? Okay, so delta of qx. So first you need to apply the transition from state q on the input x. Okay, so whatever the resultant state that you will get from by taking that resultant state and the remaining input, what is the remaining input? A. You have to apply the whole transition. Okay, so here you could see delta of q comma x comma a whole transition. Okay, so in that fashion you need to specify. Okay, so let me explain you with one more example. So let me take here w a is my string, right? So how do we write the extended transition function? Delta of q comma, the first thing, q comma, that means you are in some state q, right? And you need to process wa. So the string is q comma wa is equal to, now how do we write? How do we write? Delta of first is that you have to take the current state and first part of the input, right? So delta of q comma w. Okay, so first part we have applied the transition from Q on inputs W, right? So whatever the state that you will get, the resultant state, that means you need to consider the resultant state and the remaining input. What is the remaining input? A. Okay, so remaining input is A. So on that remaining input, you have to apply the transition. So how do we represent the transition? Delta. So see here. Okay. So how we have written delta of Q comma W comma A whole transition delta. Okay. So in this fashion, you need to represent this extended transition function. Okay. I hope the point is clear. So just you need to practice it on paper, right? Next one. So how do we check the acceptance of a string? Okay. So how we can check whether the string is accepted by DFA or not? So in order to check that acceptance of a string, we have to apply certain strategies here. The first technique is that you can use sequence state diagram, or next one is that you can use extended transition function, and you can use the v dash function. Okay, so we will see each one in detail. So here let us consider we are having one DFA, right? So we are having one DFA. So you could see here, this is the DFA, right? So just don't bother about what this DFA is doing. So just imagine that we are having one DFA, ready-made DFA. So for that DFA, we need to check whether a particular string is accepted by DFA or not, right? So for this particular DFA, we are having the state transition table here at the right side of this slide. Okay, so this is the state transition table, right? We have seen how to represent that DFA into the state transition table, and how to represent the state transition table uh, into a state transition diagram. Okay, we have seen those concepts already in the previous sessions, right? So if we consider this DFA, we can able to determine that these are the set of strings that can be accepted by the DFA. Okay, so I'm writing L of M. So M means we are having M is nothing but DFA, right? So M is nothing but DFA. So what is the language of DFA? It is L of M. So L means language, M means DFA. So L of M means language of DFA. So language of DFA M is consisting of set of all strings that are accepted by this DFA. Okay, set of all strings that are accepted by DFA. Now what are the input symbols here in the DFA? 0, comma 1. So your alphabet set is sigma is equal to 0, comma 1. So your alphabet set is sigma is equal to 0, comma 1, right? So these are the set of strings 0 0 1 0 0, okay, triple 0 1 triple 0 double 1 double 0. These are the set of strings that are accepted by the DFA, right? If possible, you can check it. So let me take 100. So in order to process that particular string, we have to start from the starting state. What is the starting state here? Q naught. Okay, so Q naught on 0, sorry, Q naught on 1. So what is our first symbol? 1. What is our first symbol? 1. Okay, so Q naught on 1, where it is going? Q naught on 1 means it is on the same state, right? Next input, what is the next input? Next input is 0, right? So Q naught on 0 means, Q naught on 0 means where it is going? Q1, right? Okay, next we are in state Q1. What is the next input? 0. Next input is 0, right? So Q naught on 0, where it is going? Q2. Is any more input is there? So we don't have any more input to process, right? So in which state we are in now? In Q2. So it is the final state. So since it is the final state, we can say that the string 100 is accepted. Okay. So after processing the string, if we cannot able to reach the final state, then we can say that the string is rejected. Okay. So these are the things that we can check it logically by seeing this transition diagram. But the question is that how we can represent this acceptance or rejection mathematically. Okay, so that is the question here. So in order to represent this acceptance of a string, okay, mathematically, we can use either this, I mean sequence state diagram, or extended transition function, or v dash function. Okay, so we will discuss each one in detail. So first, how do we use this sequence state diagram? Okay, so let me consider here my string is some w is equal to, my string is w is equal to 100. Okay, 100. So same string, we have checked its acceptance just now by seeing this transition diagram, right? So by considering the same string, how can we represent its acceptance mathematically? Okay, so let us see. So first thing, uh, in this particular representation, we are going to have the two parts. The first part is the input, which is represented in the above row, and next one is we are having this state part, which is represented in below row, right? So beneath here we are representing. Okay, so the first thing, uh, we start with the state q naught, right? So because the starting state is q naught, so in starting state q naught, what is the first input symbol that we are considering here, or what is the first input symbol that we have? 1. So q naught on 1, so q naught on 1, where it is going? Q naught on 1, just observe the state transition diagram. So q naught on 1, where it is going? It is in same state. So q naught on 1 means it is going to q naught. So just write q naught in the state portion. Okay, in the state portion. Okay, next, what is your current state now? Q naught. What is the next input? 0. So q naught on 0, where it is going? Q naught on 0, just check the diagram. Q naught on 0, where it is going? Q1. So just write that Q1 in the state portion or state part. Okay, next, what is the current state now? Q1. What is the next input? 0. So Q naught on 0, where it is going? Q2. So write that Q2 in the state portion. Okay. Is there any more input to process? No. What is the state? Q2. Is it final state? Yes. So here you could see, since Q2 is the final state, that means Q2 belongs to final state if the string is accepted. Right? So in this fashion, you can represent the acceptance of string. So just practice by your own, because this is the most important concept that you must represent whenever you construct the DFA. Okay. Next, next, second way is that using the extended transition function. So this is the most important representation. So either you can use one, I mean first representation or second representation. Okay. So but preferably in examination, this second representation is more important, right? So preferably, most of the evaluators prefer this part of representation, right? So practice this second representation, okay? And the third one is optional one, okay? So just I am telling all the possible ways. So, but among these three ways, you have to either go with one or two. Among one or two, again the two is preferable, okay? So I hope you understood the importance. That means which one is more important in the exam point of view, right? Right. So here we are having extended transition function, right? So first thing, what is our string? 100, right? So we can directly write delta of, what is the starting state? So we need to process the string from the starting state, right? So delta of q naught comma, what is our string? 100, right? So just in the previous slide, I have shown how to represent this extended transition function, right? So here, since we cannot able to process the entire string, we have to take one symbol at a time, right? So how do we write? First we perform state transition from q naught on input symbol a. So how do we write? How do we write? Delta of q naught comma 1. Okay, so delta of q naught comma 1, or you could write delta of q naught comma 10. So anyway, if you want to split it, you can split in individually, or you can split in two parts, right? So I have split it into two parts because in the previous slide I mentioned that the string is like this, WA or XA, right? So in that case, how I have written, so I have mentioned like this, Q delta of Q comma X comma A whole transition, right? So similarly, 100 you could assume it as W, okay, and this 0 you can assume it as A, okay, so W or X, whatever it may be. So first thing is that we have to perform the transition on the first part of the input, that is delta of Q naught comma W, and then whatever the state that you will get and the remaining input A, we have to perform the whole transition, right? So just see here. So first, how do we write delta of Q naught comma W? What is W in this case? 10, right? Then what is the remaining input? 0. So delta of the resultant state after performing this transition from Q naught on W and remaining input 0 whole transition. Okay. Now delta of Q naught comma 10. Then again, how do we write? We have to split into two parts, right? So we have to write like this, delta of uh, Q naught comma 1, okay, comma 0. So whole transition, okay, whole transition like this, okay. And after again, we are having 0 whole transition like this, okay. So here, uh, for convenience, I have already calculated this part, delta of Q naught comma 10. So delta of Q naught comma 10 means what we will get here, Q1. So just substitute that value, Q1. Okay, next, what is the remaining input? 0. So write that 0. So delta of Q1 comma 0, check it out from the state transition diagram, Q1 comma 0. Q1 comma 0 means where it is going, Q2. So write Q2. So since Q2 belongs to the final state, the string 100 is accepted. Okay. Okay. So just what you need to do is that you have to write down the state transition in a form of this delta. Okay. Next one is v dash function. So this is optional one. So as this is the way of representing the string acceptance, just I am explaining it. Okay. So so how do we write here? V dash function, vertical bar with horizontal line. So vertical bar in between, in middle, horizontal line. So this is called as V dash function. So here, uh, first we have to start with the starting state. What is our starting state? Q naught, comma, what is our string? 100. So just write that Q naught, comma, 100. That means we are starting the processing of string 100 from Q naught, right? So then write V dash. Okay, V dash. M means your DFA. Okay, M of what is the starting state? Q naught, right? So Q naught on 1. So Q naught on 1, where it is going? Q naught on 1, where it is going? Self. So write that state here. So Q naught. What are the remaining inputs that we are having? Since we have processed 1, what are the remaining inputs that we need to process? 0, 0. Okay. Next, check transition on Q naught on 0. Q naught on 0. Just refer the diagram here. Q naught on 0. Where it is going? Q1. So write Q1. In the next step, V dash M of what is the state that you got? Q1, comma, what is the remaining input? 0. Right? Now you are in state Q1. The next input is 0. Okay. So Q1 on 0. Q1 on 0. Q1 on 0. Where it is going? Q2. So just write down it in the next equation, that is V dash equal to M of Q2 comma small a, right? So what is this small e? So here, since we have processed all the symbols 1 0 0, so we don't have any more symbol to process. So we are representing that it with a small e. E means empty or end. Okay, end of the input. So since we have reached the end of the string, so here the machine stop or DFA stops, and we'll check the string here. We'll check the state here. What is the state Q2? It is the final state. So we can say that the string 100 is accepted. Okay? The string 100 is accepted. Okay? So these are the three ways of representing the acceptance of a string. The one is sequence state diagram. The second one is transition function, and third one is v dash function. So just go with 1 and 2. Okay. So next one, just practice this problem. So construct a DFA to accept set of all strings containing odd number of a's over sigma is equal to set of a. Okay. So here what you need to do is you have to construct a DFA that will accept odd number of a's. Okay. So in the previous session we have seen how to construct the DFA that will accept the even number of a's. So but here the DFA must accept odd number of a's. So for this particular type of model, we considered that there may be two states. Okay, the one is the even state and next one is the odd state, right? So in the previous problem, our objective was to accept even number of a's. So for that sake, we have made this even state as the final state, right? But here we are having a different objective. We need to accept the odd number of a's. So in this case, what we need to do is that we have to make this odd state as a final state, right? So that is the only the change in this DFA when compared to the previous one, right? So here you could see the starting state is Q naught. So it is Q naught is nothing but even state, which represents the even count of A's, and Q1 is the state representing the odd count of A's, right? So since we need to accept the odd number of A's, we are making the Q1 as final state, right? So if we check, let me check with triple A. Okay, triple A. Is it accepted? Yes. So Q naught. So we will start with the state Q naught. If we get A, first A, where we will go? We'll go to the state Q1. Okay. Next A, second A. So since you are in state Q1, if you get another A, you move from state Q1 to Q naught. Okay. Now what is the current state? Q naught. What is the next input again? A. So third A. So Q1. So here you end up with Q1, and since the Q1 is the final state, the string A triple A is accepted, right? If you give 2A, 2A's, is it accepted? No. So Q naught on A. So first A you will go to Q1, second A. From Q1, if you get another A, you move to the state Q naught. So here in this case, you end up at Q naught, right? So after processing string AA, you are not in the final state, so the string AA is rejected. So as I mentioned earlier that uh, all the strings which are in the language must be accepted by the DFA, okay, and the string which are not in the language must be rejected by the DFA, right? So what are the strings that are in the language? 1A, 3A, 5A, 7A, likewise, right? So if you give even number of A's, means this DFA must reject that string. Okay, next one. So practice this problem. Construct a DFA which accept only the word epsilon over sigma is equal to a comma b. So here you need to construct a DFA that accept only the epsilon. Okay, and your alphabet set is a comma b. So here uh, what you need to do is that, so you need to start with the starting state Q naught, right? So epsilon means, as you know that epsilon means empty, right? So if you are in Q naught, if you won't process anything, then you will be in the same state, right? So what it means, starting with state q naught, if you don't process anything, then you will be in the same state, right? So if you are not processing anything means, isn't it epsilon? Because epsilon is nothing but it is an empty string. Yes. So in this case you have to make the state q naught as a final state. Okay. So that part we have completed. So if you make the starting state q naught as the final state, then this is going to accept epsilon, right? And one more point in the DFA is that for every input symbol we need to specify the transition, right? So if you get either A or B or strings consisting of A's and B's, then those set of strings must be rejected. Okay. So for that sake, what we are doing here is from Q naught, we are specifying the transition on input symbols A and B, right? So if you get either A or B, you have to move to the state Q1, right? And that Q1 must be the dead state. Why? Why? Because in this DFA we need to accept only epsilon, and we need not bother about the strings consisting of either A's or B's or combinations of A's or B's, right? So that's why what we are doing here, whenever we find any character either A or B in state q naught, we are moving to the state q1. Okay. And in this state again, if you get any A or B, then again you will be in the same state. Okay. So this state is called as a dead state, right? So why we are mentioning this dead state means, because the strings consisting of A's and B's must be rejected. So in order to satisfy that property, we are making the transition from Q naught on the input symbol AB to the dead state. Okay. So if you consider, let me say AB. So here consider the string AB. Is it accepted? As per problem, the DFA must accept only epsilon. But I am checking whether AB is accepted or not. So it should not be accepted, right? So Q naught on A. Where we will go? Q naught on A means we will go to the Q1. Q1 on B, we will be on same state. So after processing AB, we are in state Q1, which is non-final state. So the string AB is rejected. Okay. So just remember this. So here we have used a dead state, right? So in dead state, we don't have any outgoing transition. So only that state is having self transition. Okay. And moreover, from dead state, we cannot able to go to the final state. So these are the properties of the dead state that we have seen in the previous sessions. Okay. And next one, practice the next problem. So here we are having a problem called construct a DFA which accepts set of strings over sigma is equal to a comma b. Uh, we are having three parts in this. The part number one, length exactly 2. So here we have to construct the DFA that accepts the set of all strings whose length is exactly 2. Okay. So what are the possible combinations here? So first you need to write down the language. So here there is a mistake. So what are the possible strings of length 2, exactly length 2? So we have AA, comma AB, comma BA, comma BB. So if you observe all these strings, they are of length 2. So you need to construct a DFA that accepts such strings of length 2, AA, AB, BA, BB, right? So first thing, start with the starting state. What is the starting state? Q naught. Okay. So let me start with the starting state. So what are the strings that must be accepted? Those are having the length 2. So let me say a 2a. So q naught on a. So when I see a on q naught, I will go to the state q1. Okay. Okay. Next, from q1, if I see a, then I will go to the state q2. Okay. So what it means, whenever we write like this, what it means, a followed by a. So q naught on seeing a means we got a count as 1, so that's why we are moving from q naught to q1, right? So on q1, what it means, we have seen a string of length 1, right? But to accept, we require one more symbol to make the string of length 2. So q1 on a, we will go to the state q2, so which is making the length as 2, right? So in the problem, the DFA must accept set of strings of having length 2. So q2 is the state which is representing the string of length 2. So make the q2 state as the final state. Okay. So with this, it is accepting a, right? And same is the case if you are going to have the string which is starting with b, right? If you find some symbol b from on state q naught, you have to go to the state q1, right? So q naught on b means it must go to the state q1, so that's why we have to write b. So q naught on b, we have to go to state q1, right? So q1 means we have seen a symbol, that means we have seen a string of length 1, right? So if you get another b, then it satisfies the length 2, so we will move from state q1 to q2 and the string is accepted. So by seeing this diagram, you could observe that this is the in this way the DFA is accepting the strings of length 2, right? Now what happened if I get the third character? So if I get one more character from state q2, then it means it is making the length of the string greater than 2, right? So from 2 q2, if I get either a or b, then that must not be accepted. Okay, so I am making a transition towards the state q3, right? So if I have given the string whose length is greater than 2 means, what will happen from state q2, if you get third character either a or b, we have to go to the state q3, which is the dead state, right? So dead state means in q3 if you get either a or b means it must be in the same state, and the string must be rejected. Okay, so here if you observe this diagram, you could see here. So just check that we have specified the transition on every input symbol or not. So from Q0 we have specified transition on A and B. From Q1 we specified transition on A and B. From Q2 we specified transition on A and B. And from Q3 we specified transition on A and B. Right? So from every state we have specified the transition on every input symbol. So that is the perfect DFA, and it is accepting whatever the property that is mentioned in the problem. Okay. Next one, you just practice with this length at least 2. So it should, the DFA must accept set of all strings whose length is at least 2. So what are the possible strings here? So their length must be at least 2. So the first possibility is that string of length 2, string of length 3, string of length 4, and so on, right? So how do we write? That means how do we construct the DFA? So starting with q0, if you get either a or b, you go to the state q1. That means we have seen one character, and from state q1 again if you get another character either a or b, you move to the state q2. So here q2 means it is a we can say here it is satisfying the string of length 2, and we have seen the string consisting of two characters, so make this q2 as a final state, right? And next one, if you get either a or b in state q2, it must be accepted. That means it must be in the same state. Why? Because if you get either a or b means it is making the string of length 3, so string of length 3 must be accepted, right? So we are making here the self transition. So by doing this, it is accepting the set of all strings whose length is at least 2. Okay. Next one, set of all strings at most 2. So at most 2 means it must accept set of strings of length 0, set of strings of length 1, set of strings of length 2. That's it. Okay. So in this case, we need to make the Q0, Q1, Q2 as the final state, because Q0 means representing the set of strings of length 0. Q11 means making Q1 final state means representing the set of all strings of length 1, and making the Q2 as a final state means representing or accepting the set of all strings of length 2. Okay. And from Q2, if you get either A or B, we need to go to the dead state, because the DFA must not accept the string of length greater than 2. Okay. So just in Q2, if you get any character either A or B, or a symbol either A or B, you must move to the dead state. Okay. So that will make the invalid strings to get rejected. Okay. So just try to practice these problems. In the next session, we will discuss few more problems on the DFA, and we will start the next concept of NFA. Okay. I hope these problems are clear. So just practice on paper. If you are having any doubts, just feel free to get in touch with me. Okay. Thank you for attending this session.